they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets.
Good morning. Football is finally here, and welcome to the first episode of Graybo's Giblets College Football Locks. I'm your host, Graybo. We're going to be dropping some giblets here. I'm joined by Dennyonetime and Fitz to break down some college football picks for the week one slate. We got games on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be great. Denny, how we doing? How we feeling? College football's here.
Marching bands, action, round the clock. I'm ready to go. It's college football season, boys and girls.
We are ready. Producer Fitz, how we doing? We feeling good?
We're feeling great.
All right. He's ready. He's nervous. All right, segment one. We are talking about the board, and there's so many games. So we're just going to start out with, we might not even bet it. We're probably going to bet it. But what game are you looking forward to the most watching on Thursday or Saturday or Sunday? Let's start with Denny. What game on the board gets you excited, that you're just going to sit down and just enjoy it, even if you don't bet it?
I'm going to take the chalky choice here. Number 5 LSU versus number 8 Florida State. The only real matchup of ranked teams this weekend. You get to see two big boys. Florida State, who seems to be emerging a bit. Can they return to former glory? LSU, second year under their new head coach. He seems to be building something there to give Alabama and Georgia a little run for their money in the SEC. Maybe factor into the national title picture. So let's see what they got.
Yeah, big game to get that national title run going. Let's see if the ACC can do something here. I don't think so, but we'll see. Fitz, what are you looking forward to?
I'm going to go to Thursday night. I want to see Matt Rule's debut at Nebraska versus Minnesota.
So they're not going Utah, Florida Thursday night. We're going the other Thursday game, Nebraska, Minnesota.
Yeah, we'll be flipping back and forth, but I like them road dogs.
Okay. I love it. And then for me, first game on Saturday, game day's over. You got the TV on. Deion Sanders making his debut with Colorado against number 17 TCU. Went to a national championship last year with Sonny Dykes. Something very interesting. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Deion Sanders was the second choice for TCU. Almost got the TCU job. They hired Sonny Dykes over him. So this is a very interesting game.
He's not very competitive, so that probably doesn't bother me.
Yeah, right. So this game, and everyone is on Colorado plus 20.5. In the preview show, I was against Colorado and everything. It's going to be interesting what Colorado is going to have coming out of this first game, what Deion has in store for TCU. It's going to be a good week one. All right, so what we also are going to do for this first segment called The Board, so we're going to talk about our favorite over-under game, and then we're going to talk about two plays that we like that you should bet for this week. So let's go to Denny to talk about over-under game and some plays that he likes this week.
All right, so I'll preface this by saying I typically don't bet a lot of over-unders, and I have to really like them. Most weeks I take 0. Occasionally I'll take 1 over-under. This year with the new running clock, some people think you should favor unders early in the season until lines adjust. I don't know if that's true or not. If you want to take an under, I think Purdue, Fresno State is a solid under to take. But the one bet I'm making this week is going to be an over, and that's going to be SMU, La Tech. SMU's quarterback is a stud. Watch him this year. Last name is Stone. Very exciting player to watch. And I think La Tech should score some points. SMU should roll. I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a lot of throwing the ball, so the running clock won't matter. So give me SMU, La Tech over.
I love it. Yeah, so new rules this year. It's going to be like the NFL. Clock's not stopping on first downs except for the last 2 minutes of the second quarter and the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And then you also can't ice the kicker 3 times in a row. You can't take back-to-back timeouts. You can only take one to try to speed up the game. So it's going to be less offensive plays. For the safety of the players, they said. For the safety of the players. All right, what about 2 plays that you like? I'm kind of with you. I'm not a big over-under guy, so this is where I'm going to start making my money this year. 2 plays that you like. Who are they, Denny?
I really like Colorado State at home. If you can find it at plus 12, great. I found it 11.5. It was like at 14 not that long ago, but now it's down to 11.5. You're playing Washington State at home. I think Colorado State is better than a lot of folks think. First game at home is going to be packed. Crowd's going to be wild. Give me the Rams. I would even consider taking the money line. But for now, I think I'm just going to take the points. And finally, or second, give me Gus Malzahn and UCF minus 36.5 at home against Kent State. Kent State is doo-doo on a stick.
I heard they are terrible.
They're the new UMass. Like they might be the worst team in the country. Early on, they have like 0 defensive starters returning or something like that. Like it's insane. So I expect UCF to roll.
I like that. So you like Colorado State money line?
I would consider it.
What is that?
I'll look it up as you keep going, but
sure.
I'll see what it is now.
That's wild. 11.5 dogs at home. You like them thinking about money line. All right, Fitz, you got an over-under play, and you got a couple plays for us on the board this week.
Yeah, the over-under, I'm going to go with the game you talked about, Colorado TCU. I don't really like a side, so I just want to watch it and hope for a shootout. 63.5 is a lot, but I think Deion's offense will be ready to go, so I think they can hang with them scoring. Plays I like NC State minus 14, minus 14.5 even. Last year they blew out UConn. They were like 30-point favorites. This year they're 14-point favorites. I don't care how much turnover there was. I don't see how it can change that much, so I'll take NC State. And then I don't know if this play is actually even live, but
you got to talk about it.
Rhode Island is plus 14 on a couple books online. I couldn't actually find it in mine. They're plus 3 really across the board. So
this is insane.
This is maybe when you don't go through the rank, you call your old friend.
Yeah, exactly. This is an offshore bookie bet if you can find it.
Who are they playing?
Rhode Island is playing Georgia State.
So plus 14 and then plus 3 on some books. That is wild.
Colorado State.
Something's
you can
going
get Colorado State about plus 370.
Okay. I like it. NC State's new quarterback, Armstrong from UVA. Right. That's another reason you should bet it. He's connected back with his offensive coordinator the year he went off. Had a terrible season last year with UVA. And that gets me to one of my plays is Tennessee minus 28 against UVA. Lock of the century, folks. Lock of the century. Now, we're in Virginia, so we can't bet it. So I got to go to my bookie and bet it.
Do you know where you can bet it?
Where?
There's a place called Colonial Beach, Virginia. You walk out onto the dock,
go.
Which is Maryland. You can bet Virginia Tech, UVA, VCU.
Oh, loophole.
ODU.
Did you install the hotspot?
I might have to drive.
Yeah,
I might have to drive down there because this is going to be a slaughter. UVA might be one of the worst teams in the country, and I'm saying that as a UVA fan. You know, they went through a lot last year, a lot of transfers. It is going to be a rough season, and they're going to Tennessee, and it's only 28. Oh my gosh, you better snag that while you can. I've also looking at this is one game. There's not a lot of information out there yet, like podcasts we were talking about to listen to yet because we're doing this podcast so early. But there was one handicapper that he was like, I don't have my picks yet, but I'm taking Tennessee. So there's one for you. So there's a lot. Get it. And then I talked a lot about this team on the preview show. Washington minus 14.5 against Boise State. I think Penix Jr. They have an offense that is going to roll this year. A lot of defensive starters coming back. I just think Washington is a national champion hopeful. And Penix is getting some Heisman hype. He's getting a lot of money put down on him, and he keeps moving up the board in his Heisman odds. This is time to show the country. First game, a pretty decent team, Boise State. I think they handle them. So I'm going to take that 14.5. All right. And then my over and under, I just wanted to know what you guys were putting because, like Denny said, very different strategy with the new clock rule. So I'm actually going to pass on week 1, kind of see how it goes. And I'm like Denny, too. I don't really bet a lot of over-unders, but for the sake of the podcast, I will next week. But definitely pass on week 1 to see kind of how the games go. And I bet you can win a lot of money this week because I bet the books don't really know either.
Yeah, it'll be an adjustment.
On the over-under. All right. Segment 2 is a lot of fun. Upset of the week. Who is your dog of the week? We're going to start with Denny. You like this underdog to cover. You can also talk about how you might like the underdog to win straight up. We should play a little game.
Yeah, I mean, for a dog, obviously you're looking at a lot of home dogs. You're looking at whether you take the money line or take the points. I think it depends on the number a lot of times. If it's in and around the key number. So if you're at home getting 2.5, for example, you might as well take the money line. But if you're getting 3.5 or 4 or a little over 4 or a little over 7, maybe, then maybe you're more likely to take the spread. But as far as dogs, I like Hawaii at home against Stanford. I think Stanford's pretty bad. Traveling to Hawaii is a step up from last year. They looked pretty solid last week. The line moved a lot because of how Hawaii looked last week. So this line was at 10 before Hawaii tipped last week.
Ooh.
Now the line's down to 3.5. A lot of folks think they'll win. And then also like North Texas at home, getting 6.5 against Cal. So that's like, getting 6.5. I may take the money line, but if I can get it up to 7.5, obviously I'll take the points. But I think North Texas has a pretty solid chance of winning at home against Cal.
Love it. Yeah, Hawaii only a 7-point loss to Vanderbilt, which was a lot of people were talking about how Hawaii's improved a lot because they were terrible. People were betting against them all the time last year, and then they were shocked that they lost all their money because Hawaii covered pretty well against Vanderbilt. So, and Stanford's supposed to be the worst team in the Pac-12. So,
yep,
we'll see. All right, Fitz, who you got? Who's your dog?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina plus 14.5 at UCLA. Actually, I love UCLA. I love betting them late night. But I love Coastal's quarterback, Grayson McCall. He's very efficient, very accurate. And going back to those rule changes, I know Chip Kelly plays fast, but I think Coastal can have some long drives and kind of just lead the game a little bit, keep it close. So I like them 14 and above.
I like that too. And that's kind of my game plan too is I've talked, again, going back to this preview pod of teams that we like. South Alabama, I said week 1, got the 24th ranked Tulane Green Wave. South Alabama's plus 6.5. I love it. I think Tulane might win by a field goal, but, that's covering. So South Alabama, again, like Fitz talked about Coastal, they like to run the ball. They like to run the clock. They got a really good run game. I think they got over 100 yards every game except 1 or 2 last year. They were 10-3 last year. They return everyone on offense. And they're known for their defense as well. I think they returned about 8 stars on defense. So a very good team that people are sleeping on. And it's the first game for Tulane. So I think it's going to be kind of maybe sloppy for both and close. So I think 6.5 is a lot for a good Sun Belt South Alabama team. So I'm going to take the Jaguars. 6.5. All right. Here we go. Here's one of the funnest games that you can play with college football. We're going to call it Cover 3. We're in a Cover 5 league. I'm going to kind of break it down real quick. We use DraftKings spreads, and this is kind of how you play. Example, like you have a favorite. So my example is Atlanta is -7 against the underdog New Orleans. The final score of the game, let's say Atlanta wins 27-10. So the margin of victory for Atlanta is 17. So they covered, but you got to make sure you take that spread off. So 17 minus 7 is 10. So you would get plus 10 points after that game. So every point matters. It is so fun. Even when you're like going to lose, you're rooting for touchdowns just to try to get some points back. So the opposite of that is you pick the underdog, New Orleans. Yes, they lost 27-10. The spread was -7. 7 minus 10 is -10. So you would start with -10 points. And that's kind of how it works. So we're going to play a game, me, Denny, and Fitz. We're going to call it Cover 3. We're doing just top 25 games. and just Saturday. This will be continuous from week to week. And I hope our listeners maybe can play with us. Maybe do a little listener league. And you guys can, hit us up on Instagram, give us your cover 3 picks. We take it straight from top 25 every Saturday. If a team in the top 25 is playing in a game, that's one of the games we can count. So we have 3 picks that we are choosing. The spreads were locked Tuesday morning. So, yes, the spreads can move throughout the week, but they're locked in on Tuesday morning. We're probably going to lock them in next week. Probably do this podcast on Thursday. So we'll lock it in Thursday morning. Just Denny's going to Burbank. Big card show out this week for Graybos. So we had to do the pod on Tuesday. All right, so let's start with Denny. Let's break down your cover 3. And then you also are going to talk about your cover 5 too, maybe some other picks that you like that you're seeing on the board.
Yeah, so strategy in cover 5 early in the season, I like to take the bigger offenses that, the spread might be 17 or 24 or even a bigger number, but they have the ability to win by a million, right? These younger, they're usually playing against really bad teams, younger defenses where they can roll. In cover 5, later in the season, you have to adjust. Are you ahead or behind? If you're ahead, you might take more conservative picks where you're less likely to have, a lot of downside. And if you're behind, you might take some more aggressive picks and kind of be more risky later in the season. We do this cover 5 with Keith's League. We've done it for years. Love it. It's literally my favorite thing to do in sports betting is cover 5 format. It's so fun. As Gray said, every point matters. For this format, we're doing 3 games, and we're only doing top 25 games that are on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right? So
because there's so many games, we want to kind of
So the full slate's not here. I would like to point out that in a cover 5 format, I do like UCLA and SMU this week. But it's interesting, where Fitz likes Coastal Carolina on a bet against the spread, getting 14 in a hook. I can see why you might like that, getting the 14 in a hook. But in a cover 5 format, I don't care if I lose by half a point. I think they might have upside. They could win by 3 or 4 touchdowns, right? So, where I might be hesitant to bet UCLA laying 14.5, I'll be very pro UCLA in a cover 5 format, if that makes sense, because I think they're going to roll. And if they don't, you just if they in a spread, if they don't cover, you lose the whole bet, right? They could still win by 14 and you lose the whole bet.
exactly.
All right. So getting to my cover 3 picks this week. First is give me Oklahoma minus 35 over Arkansas State. I think Arkansas State's really bad. I think Oklahoma has a lot to prove. They're a team that I think needs confidence. Venable second year. I think he's gonna want to prove that he's supposed to be there. He's supposed to be the guy that's employed there.
Yeah, he's taking over the defense too.
Right.
So I think they're going to be much improved defensively.
Correct. So second, another team I like is Wisconsin minus 27.5 over Buffalo. I think Buffalo is pretty bad. If you look at a lot of the G5 podcasts and kind of early reports, everybody thinks Buffalo's down, and I think Wisconsin's going to roll. I do have some concern about them taking their foot off the gas towards the end, but I only have 10 games to pick from, so I'm picking Wisconsin. Finally, I'm going to take UNC minus 2.5 over South Carolina. I think UNC's improved. I think they're solid, really good quarterback. I think that's South Carolina kind of overachieved the tad last year, and UNC's laying only 2.5 at home. So give me the Tar Heels.
All right, so two big games and then a really conservative game. So South Carolina wins by 7. It's not terrible. All right, Fitz.
Similar. Oklahoma minus 35.
I think we're all on that
one.
one.
I think that one's. Yeah, I'm going to go Bama for what Duke said earlier. Just going to take a big favorite. Hopefully they win by 55. They're minus 39.5. And then I'm going to go on the other side of the UNC.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to go South Carolina plus 2.5.
Let's
mostly
go.
because they're the ones at home, not UNC. So, no.
I love
That's
it.
what I meant.
Producer coming in
They're
strong.
in the Mid-Atlantic. They're in the
They're both-
Carolinas.
It's Carolinas.
They are.
It is. UNC travels well. All right. So for me, we're all on Oklahoma. So really doesn't matter if they cover or not because we're all going to be there. My strategy going into it the first week, I like to hit like Denny was saying, those power teams that are playing these very bad teams. I think Oklahoma is going to score a lot of points and not give up a lot of points. That's the name of the game, right? But then I also like the first week. You can't win it the first week, but you can lose it the first week if you take some of these big lines and drop a lot of points. So I like to actually be a little conservative. And that's why I'm taking Washington minus 14.5, South Alabama plus 6.5. I think the games are going to be a lot closer. So if they do lose, it's not crazy negative points. And if they win, that's always a plus. So just like my bets, I'm taking Washington, South Alabama. I got a lot of faith in those two teams this week. And then Oklahoma rolls. And then Fitz was mentioning Alabama. Like with Alabama, with my experience, always up like 55-0 at halftime, and then rest their starters, and they give up a couple touchdowns, and they cover they usually get you like 1 or 2 points. But like at the half, you're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get so many points, and then that's what happened. Every point matters. It's so fun. All right, so that's where we are with cover 3, and then the last segment that we're going to do every week is we ride in like we did with golf. And speaking of golf, Xander top 5, Duke. So we crushed. We were all in the positive for golf. Fitz, how'd you finish? Max Homa top 5?
No. And then I hedged the top 10, and he had a dead heat, so I won like $1.
Well,
I did have Hovland outright. So
there you go. Well, there you go. So we in the golf well. Well, this is a college football podcast, so
I had a Hovland outright, and we finished for the team, finished well above for the year.
Yeah.
And I think
We had-
I plus 280 last bets. I think I was like 4.5 units.
Look at that.
something like that. So if we had bet $1 million a bet, I'd be up $4.5 million.
which you did.
I would like to state that.
Which you did, yeah. And I fought my way back to the positive. I think, it was great. So we just want to mention that as I hope you're riding with us for college college football this week. All right, so locks. Here we go. We riding this. These are bets we take. We all take each other's bets, and I hope you take ours as well because we could make you millionaires.
You just might.
All right, Dennyonetime lock of the week. Give it.
So I almost took this money line, but I'm just going to take the points. Start off a little more conservative. I wanted to put y'all right behind the 8 ball right out of the gate. But give me Colorado State getting 11.5 against the spread, 1 unit. Let's go.
All right, Colorado State plus 11.5, 1 unit. All right, Fitzel.
I'm going to go Thursday night,
Ooh.
Utah, minus 4.5. Cam Rising, is he playing?
I know, big mystery.
I don't think he is.
What if he's playing? What's Utah?
Probably back to what it was, like minus 7.
7. So that it keeps dropping. So it's not looking good.
It's Utah at home. They don't lose at home. This is a revenge game from last year when they should have won. So
And Florida has got the transfer from Wisconsin, Mertz, who, going into that environment. I like that bet.
Sorry, Chris McCracken, if you're listening. Your Gators are going down.
I like that bet. All right, for me, I'm going quarterback play. UNC, Washington, money line, parlay, about even money. Drake May, Penix, ship it. Sorry, Fitz in South Carolina. I like the Tar Heels. Let's go ACC. UNC, Florida State. They went that would be 2 big ACC statement wins. Let's get it done. All right. Anything to add, fellas?
I just like to stress again that I'm very excited that it's college football season.
Heck yeah. Give the people what they want.
Keegan Bradley.
Cam Young didn't get picked either. I love it. All right. Well, that's all for today. Good luck with your bets. Thanks for listening and riding with Graybos. And be sure to tune in next time. Leave us a 5-star review. That would help us out a lot.
Giblet.
When I go to sleep, I don't see sheep, see dollar signs. $100 got him beat the eyes for the 100th time at a money line. Brock Purdy was irrelevant, now I'm at the front like a cutting line. G5 to the power 5, Graybo's on fire like it's summertime. I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window?